Welcome to this season of Tech in Tech, Women and Girls in ICT. My name is Tania Rosas, and today I am delighted to be representing Origen Learning Fund, and I am excited to be having a discussion about tech and tech careers with Rocio Van Nierop. Talking Tech is a series celebrating girls and women in tech being recorded around the world between Girls in ICT Day 2020 and Girls in ICT Day 2022. Girls in ICT Day is an international day marked on the fourth Thursday of each April. In 2021, Girls in ICT Day was held on 22 April. The objectives of Girls in ICT Day are to help to create a global environment that empowers and encourages girls and young women to consider studies and careers in the growing field of information and communication technologies. The Talking Tech series is brought to you by ITU, UNICC, and the Office of the UN Secretary General's Envoy on Youth, and is in support of Equals, the global partnership for gender equality and in the digital age. Origen Learning Fund is pleased to be a partner in this session today. So let's get started. Hi, Rocio, how are you? It's so nice to meet you.
Thank you, Tania. Very good, very good. Super pleased of being interviewed by you.
Okay, so I would like to ask you a few questions. The first one is, what is your origin?
I am, well, I was born here. I'm right now in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area in the US. And I was actually born here. It's the first time, only period of my life where I can say that. But at age 3, I moved back to Mexico. Well, I moved to Mexico with my parents who are Mexican. And I spent most of my life in Mexico. I just so happened to be born here when my dad was studying. But I came back, coincidence, and now I can say I'm from here. I was born here.
Okay, when and how did you get into technology?
A good question. So my first interaction with technology happened when I was 15, 16 years old. There was no internet before that in Mexico. And my dad is in science, and he got access to the internet and very good technology and computers when I was younger. So as soon as he got internet, I would go to his office, get connected, and explore. So I managed to create my first website, like web page, in my teen years. And I knew that I really, really liked technology. But at the time in Mexico, this was in San Luis Potosí, Mexico, it wasn't, a girl-like thing. And not because I cared about girl-like things, mostly because in order to get to my dad's office, I needed to cross the engineering school of the university. And it's all males. So when a female enters the school, regardless of how she looks like or the age, like I was a teenager, they will yell slurs to her and disrespect her so badly that it really take away any desire from me to pursue a technical career and being the only woman. Now that I've spoken in panels and other pioneer women like Soledad Antelada, who's in cybersecurity, she's like, you could have been the pioneer. You're right. But at that moment, I didn't have that power, I would say. So I studied marketing, which was considered a girl career, mientras me caso kind of thing. And that wasn't exactly what I wanted. I mean, I like marketing, don't get me wrong. I love the concept of market research and had a lot of math and I really like math. But yeah, I didn't like that stereotype. So as soon as I graduated, I joined through my internship at school. I joined an advertising company for Mexicana Airlines when it was alive back then, and I was doing their international marketing. So when I moved to the US, I moved to Boston because my then boyfriend was doing a PhD. So my intention was to study, but very soon after, a tech company, a software company, hired me to do their international marketing. And I did that for like 5 years before I moved to the Bay Area, to Silicon Valley. And I joined Prezi, which is another software company, as their, eventually I was their director of product marketing. And then is when Latinas in Tech started. So that was a little bit of how I entered the tech industry. When I started liking it, long time ago, when I started working in tech, and despite my business education, and that was much later in life.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And what was your path from then to now? I guess you already answered that question. So is there something else that you would like to add to that path?
Well, I think that my support network played a very important role venturing into this, because this is the thing. Back then, and I won't tell you how many years it's in because I lost count, it was not that common for a girl to work in Silicon Valley, to like, you know, typical like you're traveling a lot and who's watching your kids, you should be helping your, no, the husband helps you and it's your role as a wife. And there's a lot of backlash back at home of you trying to do something for yourself. So I would say my dad really helped me navigate all that. Say, like, he gave me wings, you know, supported every decision, every risk I wanted to take. Even when I moved to the US, I literally had nothing but a suitcase. And he was like, look, it might go wrong, but the floor is, del suelo no pasas, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you know where your bottom is, and probably you're there. So all you have is to win. And if you fall, I'll be there to help you go fly back again. So he gave me that confidence that I could, you know, fail without being alone and trying again with a support network. And that was so important for me. So that support network was extremely important. Later, my now husband is also like that. Like, he's been an amazing ally to help me, you know, venture into those crazy ideas I sometimes have.
What's your job in tech now?
Well, I work for Latinas in Tech exclusively. Latinas in Tech is a nonprofit organization. We started as an informal gathering of girls in 2014 when I was working at Prezi. I met Gretel Pereira, who was then working for Evernote, and her team. And then we were like, wow, another Latina in Silicon Valley, let's meet up. So we went out for coffee. Then we said, oh, we should do it more regularly. We invited other acquaintances we had from, say, Netflix and Facebook and Google. And then that group started growing and growing and growing. And before we noticed, we were hundreds and then thousands. And we said, you know what, we're onto something. And companies started offering their spaces to keep those meetups going because we were filling out restaurants and bars. So we would have it at Prezi with our employers, right? At Google, at Evernote, at Weebly. And eventually we said, you know what, it's not only a networking thing, that we should bring content. So we started with panels, and boom, it exploded. Like, we had content for every, like, we used to do it every month. And then chapters started to open, and then the cadence was even every other month. And then now we're 17,000 Latinas in 20 different countries. So it does require quite a lot more work and employees to maintain this. We're a 501c3 nonprofit. We have the support of most tech giants out there. So that's really lucky for us. But that's what I'm doing now. Like, our mission is to make sure that there are Latinas that work in tech companies, but not only that are there, but that they also lead. Because Latinas have a lot more to offer than what we have now.
That's totally right. Inspiring. What's a lesson that you have learned along the way that you would like to share?
Yeah. Well, you know, there are problems in general for a Latina to join tech. There are problems that the system has, like the society, the tech companies, the employers, your colleagues, acquaintances, and you're going to change those tomorrow. But then there are problems that we can actually fix, that they live inside of us. And those problems are important to detect. And if you can manage to detect them and change them, and if each person changes them, we will be influencing and changing the system. So what are those problems? Number one, there's a lot of imposter syndrome, and knowing that you have it, a lot of people don't know they have it. Like being insecure about your English and your accent, being like, oh my God, but I don't have an American education. I didn't go to an Ivy League school. I didn't even go to the best school of my country. Like, why would I? All those things are not true. It doesn't matter where you went. If you're smart, they want to hire you. If you have an accent, it only tells them that you speak 2 languages. There's so many things that please flip it and assume you will have a yes because they know you already have. And apply for that scholarship, apply for the job. Even if you think that, let's say they ask for 10 things and you have 8, apply it, because other people will apply when they are 7 or 6. So take that step, venture into the unknown, lose that fear of losing, because this is the thing. When you lose, you have, like, when you have to reset, right? You have a privileged position to reframe what you want to do. And if what you're trying to do is the right path to what you really want to accomplish. So lose the fear of failing, because you already have a no. You already are at a starting point. So be very clear where you want to go, and then take the very first small step towards that goal. And then the second will be a lot more easy. But if you know where you want to go, it'll give you the answer for every day, and it's one day at a time. So that is probably what I would love to share, and that I learned in my career.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Have you encountered any challenges along the way? And if so, how did you overcome them?
I would say there are many challenges along the way. The question is, how do you take them? If you are obsessed with finding those challenges and you internalize them all the time, it's very hard to move forward. So you have to focus on shining. You have to focus on doing a pristine job, because challenges and little details like little discrimination here and there, and unconscious bias, or something didn't go your way, are detractors. They're distractors from what matters. You are here to shine, to do a pristine job. Focus on that, and don't let other things, like, let them just go by. So in my career, once I was already at Latinas in Tech, I've joined other events from other organizations, and I was like, oh, I was discriminated then, and I didn't realize that. You know, I might have been naive, but that didn't stop me, because I was busy doing other important things, right? Now, that being said, yes, the society needs things to be noticed and things to be called out. So what I prefer to encourage is allies, detect those things. If you see a situation like that, stand up. If it's your daughter, your sister, your colleague, you name it, stand up and put a stop on it. Don't let the Latina do it by themselves. Number one, it's harder. It sometimes is counterproductive, that if you stand up, then you're a Latina that is looking for a cat fight, and then you get that again, right? But if somebody else does it for you, it causes a very, very important big impact, and it stops it right then and there, and it doesn't distract you from shining, which is what matters. So I would say, did I find obstacles? Probably yes. Did I care about them? I'll just try it again.
I love that answer. Love it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
My last question is, since the series is about girls and women in technology, do you have any career or tech advice for girls and younger women in tech?
My God, and I'm not thinking about, oh, what should I say? It's like I'm trying to choose from the different things I want to say. Be open about what you want to accomplish. Get your voices heard. If you want to lead, ask for things. We think that if we do an amazing job, somebody's going to come back and say, great job. Now here's this project for you to lead, or here's this promotion. It doesn't work that way. And Latinas do that a lot. We think that we need to work twice as hard to accomplish half. People do think that, and they do it. And yes, I mean, that's awesome. That's good for you, but not that you're going to get that recognition that you think you're going to get. At Latinas in Tech, I've seen that 90% of promotions happen for people that ask. And people don't ask, not in this community. So we need to get out of our comfort zone and ask. So that is my advice for people in technology and people not in technology. So what is asking? Ask for a promotion, ask for a raise, ask to lead a project, stand up and say, and voice your idea. And don't settle for a no so easily. Like more often than not, it is you pushing that gets things done than having a yes on the first go. We need to fight this, especially when Latinas are not at the top, not a decision-making position. So if you're in technology and if you're not afraid of leading, do it and ask for it and open the door for many, many generations to come. So that would be my advice.
Thank you. That's powerful. So yeah, those were my questions. I don't know if you have any question for me that you would like to share.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm being interviewed by somebody that has created an amazing company with an amazing solution. So please do, if you don't know her company, can you say it again so that people can?
Origen Learning Fund.
And what does your company do?
Well, we develop technology to make education inclusive for marginalized communities. We started in my region, which is the indigenous region of Colombia, La Guajira, it's called. And then last year, we started working with many schools and organizations across the world to provide OLAP, which is a platform and learning management system, to ensure that all students and all young people can access to digital education that is inclusive, empowering, and personalized.
That is amazing. And I saw your demo, and it's an amazing product. I encourage anybody to go to her website. What is the website that they need to go?
originlearningfund.org.
Okay, great. So go check it out. It's amazing. I mean, there's so many founders and technologists in Silicon Valley that are not half as amazing as what you guys have been able to create. Another thing that you have is that you are the boss, you're the founder, you're the leader of this organization. How has it been for you, you know, being a Latina, being in Colombia, being a woman, leading something and get that credibility that is hard to get in Latin America about being a woman? So how has been your experience?
Yeah, well, it has been hard. I want to accomplish many things, as much like many more than we have accomplished already, because I have been working directly with the communities. I have seen how youth can be empowered by digital education. They need support. So it is hard for me seeing that I can do more, but it is not enough funds to actually do more. Yeah. So, but at the same time, I have been really lucky. I was born in a region where many problems were around me. So I was actually able to understand them faster than other organizations arriving to that region. And then also it helped me to get things done faster and to work with the community directly because I was involved with that community myself. So I feel like I have been really lucky for my background, my origin. But at the same time, thinking of my future, I just think like it is really difficult to be a Latina in this modern world and this entrepreneurship and social environment world. I just want to really empower other youth to be like you one day.
Wow, you already exceeded expectations. That is really good. So now, how has your family, your network influenced you in this journey?
Yeah, well, again, I'm really lucky because my family comes from a background that is mixed between indigenous and Afro descendants. So I am in both of them. My mother, she was first graduated in her family. She went to, she studied administration. And also my dad, he was also the first to go to school, to university in his family, and he studied system engineering. So I was also really lucky because I was able to access a computer when I was really young, and all those resources that many of my classmates didn't have access to. So I just found the difference. And also my grandmother, the mother of my mother, she built a school in her home to provide personalized education for youth that were being excluded from regular schools. So I was in between those worlds, trying to understand the world from a different perspective, but at the same time being a young person who were going to a public school and were not accessing to quality education and feeling rejected in many ways. So I feel like my story, my background, my origin, my family just shaped me, make me just think bigger. Yeah, they empower me.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's really beautiful. Now, what would you say to somebody that, you know, is from a community where there's no technology? You are lucky in the way that your parents are educated, you had access to technology early, you know what you wanted, and you had an education. And there's a lot of people that just don't have any exposure whatsoever. So even in the US, in the Central Valley in California, you will have young Latinos that are still working on the field, and even though there are several generations Americans, and they just want to be a field worker like their parents. But just because they haven't been exposed to technology at an early age or at their education, and they have Stanford right next to them. So what would you tell them?
It is difficult to say about the technology benefits if you have never been exposed to that. What I love about technology is that it can give you power to build sustainable solutions for your own families, communities, schools. So it is not only to access to internet, as many of the young people see technology. Like it is not just social network, all those kind of things. It is also a way to make things better in your own area. For us in La Guajira, there are many communities that don't have access to internet at all. Yet some youth have been getting cell phones, and they have Facebook pages, and that's it. And they feel like technology is just about Facebook, Instagram, which is also really helpful. But I really want them to see technology as a way that they can be leaders, and they can create solutions. We have been providing courses in many areas, such as how to create water filters so you can access to clean water in your community. Because some of the problems that they have, they can solve them, but they just don't know the how to do that. And technology can help them just by creating an artisanal water filter. It is already technology. So instead of just speaking about all the power of technology, I will show them how they can create technology, even with materials that they can see around, and how they can provide solutions for their own problems just by using technology.
That's amazing.
I want you to share more about Latinas in Tech, the website, how can we get involved in Latinas in Tech?
Okay, so Latinas in Tech has a website, is at latinasintech.org. And as I said, we have 20 different chapters. A few are outside the US, like London, we have Canada, Madrid is opening up, Brazil and Mexico, and in many cities in the US. So we have weekly webinars. It's all for free. You can create an account and join all of our programs for free. We have a summit that is the only one that is not for free. We do charge for the ticket, but it has amazing speakers. You get exposed to amazing people, and networking is also great. That's coming up in May. And you can always follow us and join us at our social media channels in Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and all those as Latinas in Tech. Yeah. So join our group.
For more information, you can visit latinasintech.org. And thank you so much, Rocio. This was amazing. You keep inspiring me since I met you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody.
Thank you.